Okay, so like everything you need to know is about the United States is in football. You've got you've got all these men that are in full body armor with these huge helmets and face masks and they're slamming against each other like bucks in rut in springtime and they are killing each other, literally killing each other over this giant three-dimensional vagina. I mean, that's, what what is that? Like is and if that's not like just a simmering down and essential oil of our culture, I mean, what else do you need to know that you can't learn about, in a couple hours watching football? I gotta say, I know this is not gonna be a popular thing, but thank fucking God gay marriage was illegal when I was in my 20s. Oh my God. Because I made some really egregious errors in judgment in my 20s. And you know what? Everybody makes really stupid mistakes in their 20s, and that's why the divorce rate's so high. I think that nobody should be able to get married until you're freaking 40. Because if you still believe in love by the time you're 40, you should be allowed to get married. I mean, if you believe in anything by the time you're 40, you should be allowed to get married. I used to do childcare for this church, and of course, the Unitarian Church, and the parents were assholes. Um, they Man, they were just something else. You just shouldn't wait that long to reproduce because you've got so much baggage by the time you're 35. Like, you can't possibly raise a kid because you're just messed up, man. I mean, by the time you're 35, you got like, you don't have baggage. You have like freaking storage units of baggage. You don't even have luggage anymore. You got boxes of it, and you have to pay to store it every month because you're so screwed up. So, and that's how they were. And we had an inordinate number of twins because everybody waited till they were 35 and they'd gotten their master's degree and established a career before they reproduced. So, of course, all of a sudden you get twins everywhere. We had like 5 sets of twins. It was ridiculous. And, I mean, just statistically ridiculous. And so, but the parents would say shit to me, like, like really rude shit, like really rude shit. And like they would say, they'd look deeply into my eyes and they would say, "I didn't know what love was until I had a child." Like, the implication being that if you don't have a child, you couldn't possibly understand the concept of love. And I wanted to say, yeah, I didn't know what love was until I got a MacBook Pro. I want to tell you guys, especially men, because men don't seem to know this, where babies come from. And the answer is, on your behalf, your part is that they come out of your penis when you have sex. Um, because a lot of my male friends don't seem to understand this basic thing. Like I mean, our culture doesn't understand this basic thing. Like they'll say she got pregnant, and some of them will say she got pregnant to trap me. And I'm like, oh really? She got pregnant to trap you because you're unemployed and smoke pot and play video games all day? Really? Like, I'm sorry, what kind of magical muskrat are you? You freaking loser. Like, she got pregnant to trap you. So was it rape? Did she rape you? Did she force you to have sex with her? Because that's how men act. They act like they're these like victims. Like, well, she got pregnant. Like, I had nothing to do with it, man. I wasn't even there. It was not me. This has nothing to do with me. So, my advice, my unsolicited advice, which I love to give freely, is don't have fucking kids if you don't want fucking kids. And there is an outpatient surgery that I hear is really simple and reversible in case you change your mind, because I know you're not going to wear condoms. Just go have the little tube snipped. Just have it cauterized. It's supposed to be like less than $1,000. I know. $1,000 is a lot of money, but so is child support if they catch you. Man, if they catch you, that $1,000 is going to be like 1 month of your life. That's nothing. So, if you don't want kids, go get fixed. My God, really? Jesus Christ. And then, if she gets pregnant, you'll know for sure there's no fucking way it's yours. See? See, everybody wins. You don't have a baby you don't want, and she doesn't get to trap you, so you foiled her, and she'll probably be relaxed and have a good time having sex. We'll go figure, because she's not worried about getting fucking pregnant by an unemployed, pot smoking, video game playing all day loser like you. See? There we go. Everybody wins. If you don't want babies, go get fixed. So, one of the pieces of unsolicited advice I have is if you do get invited to a straight wedding, and I don't usually get invited to any weddings because I'm a grumpy lesbian, and we're just not like first on the wedding guest list, uh, which is to my benefit, man. I've saved like thousands of dollars in travel and gifts. Oh my God. Um, and don't go to a straight wedding and say, "So, this is your first time?" Because people get very offended, because usually it's not their first time. And if it is their first time, they're offended because you're implying that it's not going to last. It's just not, just don't try to make conversation like that. Just smile and nod like you're in a foreign country and you're just happy as a pig in shit to be there. My neighborhood is so bad that there are a lot of prostitutes, which, God bless them. They're doing God's work, as far as I'm concerned. They used to be like the high priestesses back in the day, like, obviously a very long time ago. They used to be the educators, because, if you want a man to pay attention and he thinks that he's going to get laid, he will pay attention better than anything on the planet. So they used to be like these highly educated people who would, they were very regarded as teachers, and they were sacred, and they were the high priestesses, like, and as far as I'm concerned, they should be in that capacity again. But because there are so many prostitutes in my neighborhood, men think that if you're female in my neighborhood at the same time, regardless of how you might be dressed or how you might look, you are for sale. So sometimes, even though I'm, overweight and frumpy, and my girlfriend is too, like, sometimes men kind of, solicit us, which is really weird because San Francisco is the only place I've ever been where men have tried to buy me. It's very strange, just because it takes you a second just to figure out what's going on. And so what I want to say, I don't say anything. I just kind of shake my head and move on down the road, because I don't really want to engage in men who think that they can buy me for any length of time. But what I want to say is, dude, you got to pay by the pound. You can't afford. Say though, on the subject of seeing, human births and stuff, you know, I can totally see why men think that their dicks aren't big enough, because, you know, 9 pound babies are just freaking enormous. And you just, Jeff Stryker, I mean, you just can't beat that. 9 pound babies are just, they're just big. And I can see how they've got issues. I would. I mean, I can't compete with a 9 pound baby.